Welcome back. If you've just completed part one of Win the Morning, Win Your Life, then you've already laid the foundation for a life of greater purpose, discipline, and success. You discovered why your morning determines your destiny, the mindset of high achievers, the power of movement, silence, visualization, and lifelong learning. But here's the truth. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. The real transformation begins when knowledge becomes action. That's exactly what part two is all about. In this final part, you'll discover how to design your day like the world's top performers, fuel your body for peak performance, eliminate the hidden morning habits that quietly sabotage your success, prepare for victory the night before, stay consistent when motivation disappears, and take on a powerful 30-day challenge that can completely transform your life. Whether you're continuing from part one or joining us for the first time, you're exactly where you need to be. So remove every distraction, open your mind, and prepare to build the habits that don't just change your mornings, they change your life. Let's continue the journey. Chapter 7, Goal Setting and Planning Like the Top 1%. Imagine boarding an airplane. You sit down, fasten your seatbelt, and prepare for takeoff. Then suddenly the pilot makes an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. We have no destination today. We have no flight plan. We don't know where we're going, but we're excited to get there. You would probably get off that plane immediately. Why? Because you understand that a destination without a plan is dangerous. Yet every day, millions of people live exactly this way. They wake up, they react to messages, they respond to emails, they deal with emergencies, they move from task to task. But they have no clear plan for where they are going. No priorities, no focus, no roadmap. And then they wonder why they feel busy but not productive. This is one of the biggest differences between average performers and high achievers. Successful people do not merely work hard. They work intentionally. They understand that activity and progress are not the same thing. You can spend an entire day busy and still move nowhere. Imagine climbing a ladder all day long only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. That is what happens when effort is not guided by direction. This is why planning is so powerful. Planning turns dreams into actionable steps. Planning transforms hope into strategy. Planning converts potential into results. Every morning before the distractions of the day begin, successful people take time to decide what matters most. They don't allow circumstances to control their schedule. They design their schedule around their priorities. One of the simplest and most effective methods is called the Big Three. The concept is straightforward. Instead of creating an overwhelming list of 20 tasks, identify the 3 most important actions that will move your life forward today. Just 3, not 10, not 15. 3. Ask yourself, what 3 actions would make today successful? What 3 tasks would create the most progress toward my goals? What 3 activities deserve my best energy and attention? Write them down. These become your mission for the day. The beauty of the Big Three is clarity. When you know what matters most, distractions lose their power. You stop confusing motion with progress. You stop chasing every shiny object. You focus on what truly moves the needle. Consider a business owner. They may have dozens of tasks competing for attention. Emails, meetings, phone calls, administrative work. But perhaps the most important task is securing a new client. That task belongs in the Big Three. Or imagine a student. Assignments, social activities, notifications, entertainment, all compete for attention. Yet preparing for an important exam may be the highest value activity. That belongs in the Big Three. The principle is universal. Identify what matters most and do it first. Another powerful planning strategy used by top performers is time blocking. Time blocking means assigning specific periods of time to specific activities. Instead of saying, I'll exercise sometime today, you say, I will exercise from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Instead of saying, I'll work on my project later. You schedule exactly when it will happen. This removes uncertainty, and uncertainty is often the enemy of execution. Successful people don't rely solely on motivation. They rely on systems. Motivation comes and goes. Systems create consistency. A person who waits to feel motivated may never take action. A person who follows a schedule takes action whether motivation is present or not. That is where real progress happens. Let's talk about another critical concept, the difference between urgent and important. Many people spend their entire day responding to urgent matters. Messages, calls, notifications, requests, interruptions. These things demand attention immediately, but they are not always important. Important activities are often quieter. Reading, exercise, learning, planning, building relationships, working on long-term goals. Because important activities rarely scream for attention, many people neglect them. Yet these are often the activities that create the greatest results. This is why planning matters. Planning ensures that important things receive attention before urgent things take over. One habit practiced by many successful individuals is reviewing long-term goals every morning. Why? Because what you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, you notice more problems. If you consistently focus on opportunities, you begin seeing opportunities everywhere. Every morning, spend a few moments reconnecting with your vision. What are you building? Who are you becoming? What future are you working toward? When your daily actions connect to a larger purpose, motivation becomes stronger. You stop seeing tasks as chores. You begin seeing them as investments. Each action becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. Another powerful morning planning habit is gratitude. At first glance, gratitude may seem unrelated to productivity, but the truth is that gratitude changes perspective. Many people begin their day focused on what is missing, what they don't have, what went wrong, what they wish were different. Gratitude shifts your focus. It reminds you of what is already good: your health, your family, your opportunities, your lessons, your growth, your ability to start again. When you operate from gratitude rather than scarcity, your mindset changes. Your confidence grows, your stress decreases, your optimism increases, and optimism fuels action. A simple practice is writing down 3 things you are grateful for each morning. They don't need to be extraordinary. Sometimes the smallest blessings are the most powerful. A new day, a roof over your head, the ability to learn, the opportunity to improve, the people who support you. Gratitude creates emotional momentum, and emotional momentum supports productive action. Now let's imagine 2 people again. One begins each day without a plan. They react to whatever happens. They spend the day putting out fires. They feel overwhelmed and exhausted. The other begins with intention. They identify priorities. They review their goals. They practice gratitude. They create a roadmap for success. Who do you think will achieve more over the next year? The answer is obvious. Success is rarely accidental. It is designed. The future you desire will not appear by chance. It must be built intentionally. One decision, one habit, one day at a time. And every great day begins with a clear plan. Remember this: a goal without a plan is merely a wish. A dream without action remains a fantasy. But when vision meets strategy, remarkable things begin to happen. Tomorrow morning, before the world starts pulling you in different directions, take a few minutes to plan. Identify your big 3. Schedule your priorities. Review your goals. Practice gratitude. Then attack the day with confidence. Because when you know where you are going, every step has purpose. And when your mornings are driven by clarity, your future becomes impossible to ignore. Chapter 9. Destroy these morning mistakes. By now you've learned many of the habits that help successful people win their mornings, but there is another side to the equation. Success is not only about what you do, it is also about what you avoid. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs in life don't come from adding new habits. They come from eliminating the habits that are holding you back. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while there are holes in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, the bucket never fills. Many people approach their mornings the same way. They try to become more productive, more disciplined, more focused, but they continue repeating habits that drain their energy, steal their attention, and sabotage their progress. Today, we're going to expose some of the most common morning mistakes and show you how to eliminate them. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most dangerous mistake. The snooze button, the alarm rings. You know it's time to get up. But then your mind starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. Just one more snooze. It won't make a difference. 5 minutes becomes 10. 10 minutes becomes 20. Before you know it, you're rushing through your morning. Here's the problem. Every time you hit snooze, you're teaching yourself a dangerous lesson. You're practicing delay. You're practicing hesitation. You're practicing breaking promises to yourself. It may seem small, but small actions repeated daily become powerful habits. Successful people understand that the first victory of the day happens the moment they get out of bed. When the alarm rings, the decision is already made. No negotiation, no excuses, no delay. Action. Because discipline grows when you honor your commitments. The next morning mistake is reaching for your phone immediately after waking up. Think about what happens. Before you've had a chance to think your own thoughts, you're consuming someone else's. Messages, notifications, news, social media posts, videos, opinions, drama, distractions. Your attention is hijacked before your day even begins. Imagine giving strangers control of your first 30 minutes every morning. That's exactly what happens when you start the day on your phone. Instead of leading your morning, you become reactive. Instead of focusing on your goals, you're pulled into everyone else's priorities. Protect your attention. Your attention is one of your most valuable assets. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Give your goals your attention before you give it away to the world. Another major mistake is consuming negative news first thing in the morning. Now, staying informed is important, but there is a difference between being informed and being overwhelmed. Many people begin their day with stories about disasters, conflict, problems, and fear. Before they even leave the house, their stress levels rise. Their anxiety increases. Their mindset becomes negative. Remember this. What enters your mind first often influences your emotional state for hours. Feed your mind with inspiration before information. Feed it with purpose before problems. Feed it with growth before negativity. You can always check the news later, but your mindset deserves protection in the early hours of the day. Another mistake is waking up without a plan. Imagine entering a football match without a strategy. Imagine starting a business without objectives. Imagine taking a journey without knowing the destination. It sounds ridiculous, yet countless people begin each day exactly this way. No priorities, no direction, no roadmap. Then they wonder why the day feels chaotic. A lack of planning creates unnecessary stress. A simple 5-minute planning session can completely change your day. Identify your big 3, review your goals, know exactly what success looks like before the day begins. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence fuels action. Now let's discuss another hidden mistake, comparing yourself to others. Social media has made comparison easier than ever. You see someone else's success, someone else's achievements, someone else's lifestyle, and suddenly you feel behind. But here's what many people forget. You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their struggles. You don't see their failures. You don't see the sacrifices they made. Comparison steals joy. Comparison steals confidence. Comparison steals focus. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Are you improving? Are you learning? Are you growing? That's what matters. Success is not about being better than someone else. It's about becoming better than you used to be. Another common mistake is skipping movement entirely. Many people wake up and remain inactive for hours. Their bodies stay sluggish. Their energy remains low. Their minds stay foggy. Movement creates momentum. Even 5 minutes can make a difference. Never underestimate the power of simply getting your body moving. A short walk, a few stretches, a quick workout. Small actions create big results. Another mistake that quietly destroys mornings is starting the day with excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I don't feel motivated. I don't have enough time. It's too difficult. Successful people feel resistance too. The difference is that they act anyway. They understand that waiting for perfect conditions is a recipe for disappointment. The perfect time rarely arrives. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous mistakes of all, believing that one bad morning means failure. Many people miss one day and immediately quit. They oversleep once, skip a workout once, miss a habit once, and then convince themselves they've failed. That mindset is destructive. Success is not about perfection. Success is about consistency. One bad morning means nothing. One mistake means nothing. One setback means nothing. What matters is getting back on track. The people who achieve great things are not perfect. They are persistent. They keep going. They keep improving. They refuse to quit. Remember this powerful principle. A bad day does not define you. A bad week does not define you. Even a bad month does not define you. What defines you is your decision to continue. As we close this chapter, take a moment to reflect. Which morning mistake is costing you the most? Is it the snooze button, the phone, lack of planning, negative thinking, comparison, excuses? Identify it, name it, and commit to eliminating it. Because every habit you remove creates space for a better one. Every distraction you eliminate creates room for focus. Every mistake you correct moves you closer to the life you want. Winning the morning isn't complicated. Chapter 10. The Night Before Success. Most people believe that successful mornings begin when the alarm clock rings. They are wrong. Successful mornings begin the night before. Think about it. Imagine two people preparing for the next day. The first person stays up late scrolling endlessly through social media. They jump from video to video, post to post, notification to notification. Hours pass without them noticing. They tell themselves they'll sleep soon, but soon becomes midnight, then 1 o'clock, then even later. Eventually, they crawl into bed mentally exhausted, but not truly rested. The next morning, the alarm rings. They feel tired, unmotivated, groggy. The snooze button becomes irresistible. Their morning routine disappears before it even begins. Now consider the second person. Before going to bed, they intentionally prepare for tomorrow. They review their schedule, set their priorities, prepare their clothes, put away distractions, create a calm environment, and go to sleep at a reasonable time. The next morning, they wake up feeling refreshed, prepared, and ready to take action. The difference between these two mornings did not begin when the sun rose. It began the evening before. This is a principle that many high performers understand. If you want better mornings, create better evenings. The evening is where tomorrow's success is often decided. Let's begin with sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is a performance tool. Unfortunately, many people treat sleep as if it is optional. They sacrifice rest in exchange for entertainment. They stay awake longer than necessary. Then they wonder why they struggle with focus, motivation, and energy. The truth is simple. You cannot consistently win your mornings if you constantly lose your nights. Your body needs recovery. Your brain needs recovery. Your emotions need recovery. Sleep is when much of that recovery happens. While you rest, your body repairs itself. Your brain processes information. Your memory strengthens. Your energy reserves are restored. When sleep suffers, performance suffers. Everything becomes harder. Focus becomes harder. Discipline becomes harder. Learning becomes harder. Decision-making becomes harder. This is why successful people often prioritize sleep as seriously as they prioritize work. They understand that recovery is not weakness. Recovery is preparation. Now let's talk about one of the biggest threats to quality sleep. Screens, phones, tablets, televisions, laptops. For many people, screens dominate the final hour of the day, and that creates problems. Not only do screens stimulate the brain, but they also make it harder for the mind to transition into rest mode. The result? Poor sleep quality, restlessness, mental fatigue. One simple strategy is creating a technology cutoff time, perhaps 30 minutes before bed, perhaps 1 hour. Use that time to relax, read a book, reflect on the day, pray, journal, spend time with family. Allow your mind to slow down. Remember, sleep begins before your head touches the pillow. The habits leading up to sleep matter. Another powerful evening habit is preparing for tomorrow. This may sound simple, but it can dramatically reduce stress. Before going to bed, ask yourself, what are my most important priorities tomorrow? What appointments do I have? What tasks must be completed? What challenges might I face? Taking just 5 minutes to answer these questions creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. Instead of waking up confused, you wake up prepared. Instead of reacting, you begin with direction. Many successful people prepare their clothing the night before. At first, this may seem insignificant, but small decisions consume mental energy. The fewer decisions you need to make in the morning, the easier it becomes to maintain momentum. Preparation removes friction, and when good habits become easier, consistency becomes more likely. Another powerful evening ritual is reflection. Take a few moments before bed to review your day. Ask yourself, what went well today? What did I learn? What could I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for? This practice develops self-awareness. It transforms every day into a learning opportunity. Instead of drifting through life unconsciously, you begin improving intentionally. Over time, these small reflections create tremendous growth. One lesson each day becomes hundreds of lessons each year. Another habit worth developing is gratitude before sleep. Many people end the day focused on problems, unfinished tasks, mistakes, worries, stress. But gratitude changes the emotional tone of your evening. It reminds you of blessings that often go unnoticed. A lesson learned, a conversation enjoyed, a challenge overcome, a goal pursued, a new opportunity ahead. Ending the day with gratitude creates peace, and peace supports rest. Now let's talk about something many people struggle with, the desire to stay busy all the time. Some people wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. They brag about how little sleep they get, how late they work, how constantly busy they are. But being busy is not the same as being productive, and exhaustion is not a sign of success. True success includes sustainability. A champion understands when to work, but a champion also understands when to recover. Because long-term performance requires balance, the goal is not to burn out. The goal is to build a life that can be sustained for years. This is why the evening matters so much. The evening is where recovery begins. The evening is where preparation begins. The evening is where tomorrow's momentum is created. Imagine ending tonight with intention. You prepare your environment. You review your priorities. You express gratitude. You disconnect from distractions. You go to bed with peace and purpose. Then tomorrow morning arrives. You wake up ready, focused, energized, prepared, confident. Not because of luck, not because of motivation, but because you prepared. Success loves preparation. Opportunity rewards preparation. Excellence grows through preparation. And preparation begins long before the moment of performance. As you continue this journey of transforming your mornings, remember this powerful truth. Every successful morning has a story, and that story usually begins the night before. So tonight, prepare. Protect your sleep. Review your priorities. Practice gratitude. Create an environment for success. Because when you master your evenings, you make winning your mornings dramatically easier. And when mornings become easier to win, your entire life begins to change. Chapter 11. How to stay consistent when motivation disappears. Let's talk about a truth that many people don't want to hear. Motivation is unreliable. There are days when you feel inspired, days when you feel energized, days when you feel unstoppable. On those days, waking up early feels easy, exercising feels easy, reading feels easy, working on your goals feels easy. But what happens when those feelings disappear? What happens when you're tired? What happens when progress feels slow? What happens when life becomes difficult? This is where most people quit. Not because they lack potential, not because they lack talent, but because they built their success on motivation instead of discipline. The reality is that motivation comes and goes. It rises and falls like the weather. Some days it is strong, other days it is nowhere to be found. If your success depends on feeling motivated, your results will always be inconsistent. Successful people understand a different principle. They do not rely on motivation, they rely on habits, they rely on systems, they rely on discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And that is where real transformation happens. Imagine two people. The first person only works toward their goals when they feel inspired. The second person takes action whether they feel inspired or not. Who do you think will achieve more over the next 5 years? The answer is obvious. Consistency always beats occasional intensity. A small action repeated daily is more powerful than a massive effort performed once in a while. This is one reason habits are so important. Habits remove the need for constant decision-making. They automate success. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably don't wake up every morning and debate whether or not you should do it. You simply do it. Why? Because it has become automatic. Imagine if your morning routine became just as automatic. Imagine if exercise became automatic, reading became automatic, planning became automatic, growth became automatic. That is the power of habit. One of the most effective ways to build consistency is through what experts call identity-based habits. Most people focus on outcomes. They say, I want to lose weight, I want to become successful, I want to save money, and I want to read more books. These goals are good, but they focus on results. Identity-based habits focus on who you are becoming. Instead of saying, I want to run, you say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to read, you say, I am a reader. Instead of saying, I want to become disciplined, you say, I am a disciplined person. This shift is powerful because every action becomes a vote for your identity. Every morning you wake up on time, you cast a vote for being disciplined. Every workout casts a vote for being healthy. Every page you read casts a vote for being a learner. Every planned day casts a vote for being intentional. Over time, these votes accumulate, and eventually your identity changes. You no longer feel like someone trying to be disciplined. You become someone who is disciplined. Another strategy for staying consistent is making habits easy. Many people fail because they make success too difficult. They create unrealistic expectations. They try to change everything overnight. Then they become overwhelmed and quit. Start smaller than you think necessary. If your goal is reading, begin with 5 pages. If your goal is exercise, begin with 5 minutes. If your goal is meditation, begin with 2 minutes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is momentum. Small wins build confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Consistency builds results. Never underestimate the power of small beginnings. A tiny seed eventually becomes a mighty tree. Every great achievement starts small. Another powerful strategy is habit stacking. This means attaching a new habit to an existing habit. For example, after I drink water, I will stretch for 5 minutes. After I stretch, I will meditate. After I meditate, I will read 10 pages. After I read, I will plan my day. Each habit naturally leads to the next. This creates a chain reaction of positive behaviors. The easier the system, the more likely you are to follow it. Now let's talk about setbacks, because setbacks are inevitable. At some point, you will oversleep. You will miss a workout. You will skip a habit. You will have a bad day, maybe even a bad week. This is normal. The problem is not falling off track. The problem is staying off track. Many people miss one day and then give up completely. They think, I failed, so what's the point? But successful people think differently. They understand that consistency is not about never failing. It's about returning quickly. One missed day is a mistake. 2 missed days can become a pattern. Never miss twice if you can avoid it. Get back on track immediately. Progress is not destroyed by occasional mistakes. It is destroyed by prolonged excuses. Another powerful tool for consistency is tracking your habits. Keep it simple. Use a notebook, use a calendar, use an app. Each day you complete your routine, mark it down. This creates visual proof of your progress, and progress creates motivation. There's something powerful about seeing a chain of successful days. You begin wanting to protect that streak. You begin identifying as someone who follows through. Remember, what gets measured gets improved. Tracking creates awareness. Awareness creates improvement. Now let's discuss accountability. Success becomes easier when someone else knows your commitment. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Join a community. Share your goals with people who encourage growth. Accountability creates positive pressure, and positive pressure often helps people stay consistent during difficult moments. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting out of bed. There will be mornings when excuses sound convincing. There will be mornings when comfort seems more attractive than growth. Those mornings matter most, because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. Not physically stronger, mentally stronger, emotionally stronger. Character is built in those moments. The strongest people are not those who always feel motivated. They are those who act despite their feelings. They keep going when it is hard. They continue when progress feels slow. They trust the process, and eventually the results arrive. Remember this powerful truth. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Goals provide direction. Systems create results. Build strong systems. Build strong habits. Build strong routines. And success becomes far more predictable. As we close this chapter, understand this. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Anyone can take action when they feel inspired. Champions take action when they don't. And that is why champions achieve extraordinary things. Tomorrow morning, don't ask yourself whether you feel motivated. Ask yourself whether you are committed, because commitment lasts longer than emotion.
Chapter 12, the 30-Day Morning Transformation Challenge. You've made it this far. You've learned why mornings matter. You've discovered the habits of high performers. You've explored the power of hydration, movement, silence, visualization, reading, planning, nutrition, preparation, and consistency. But now we arrive at the most important chapter in this entire audiobook: action. Because knowledge without action changes nothing. You can listen to the most inspiring audiobook in the world. You can read the greatest books ever written. You can attend seminars, watch videos, and collect endless information. But until you take action, your life remains the same. Information creates possibility. Action creates transformation. This is why I want to challenge you. Not someday, not next month, not next year, starting tomorrow morning. Welcome to the 30-Day Morning Transformation Challenge. For the next 30 days, you're going to prove something to yourself. You're going to prove that you are capable of discipline, capable of consistency, capable of growth, capable of becoming the person you know you can be. For the next 30 days, commit to following a morning routine every single day. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be complicated. It simply needs to be consistent. Your challenge begins with a decision. Choose your wake-up time. Be realistic. Choose a time you can maintain. Remember, success comes from consistency, not extremes. Then build your routine. A simple example might look like this. Wake up, drink water, move your body, spend a few minutes in prayer, meditation, or reflection. Practice affirmations and visualization. Read for 10 to 20 minutes. Plan your day. Eat a healthy breakfast. That's it. Simple, powerful, effective. Now let's talk about what to expect, because the next 30 days will not be easy, and that's exactly why they will change you. Week 1, resistance. The first week is often the hardest. Your old habits will fight back. Your bed will feel more comfortable than ever. Excuses will appear. You will tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. One day won't matter. I need more sleep. I'll do it later. This is normal. Every meaningful change creates resistance. The mind naturally prefers familiarity, even when familiarity is keeping you stuck. The key during week 1 is simple. Do not negotiate. Do not debate. Do not overthink. When the alarm rings, get up. Take action before excuses have time to grow. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is showing up. Week 2, adjustment. During the second week, something interesting begins to happen. The routine starts feeling slightly easier. Not easy, just easier. Your body begins adapting. Your mind begins adjusting. The habits become more familiar. You may notice small improvements. A little more energy, a little more focus, a little more confidence. This is where many people make a mistake. They become overconfident. They assume they've already won. Don't fall into that trap. Keep showing up. Stay humble. Stay consistent. Trust the process. Week 3, momentum. This is where things become exciting. By now, your routine begins feeling more natural. You start experiencing the benefits more clearly. Your mornings feel more organized. Your productivity improves. Your confidence grows. You begin noticing something powerful. You're becoming the kind of person who follows through. This is bigger than any individual habit. You're building trust with yourself, and self-trust changes everything. Every morning you keep your commitment, your confidence grows stronger, not because life became easier, but because you proved you could handle difficulty. Week 4, transformation. By the 4th week, something remarkable begins to happen. You no longer feel like someone trying to change. You begin feeling like someone who has changed. The habits become part of your identity. You wake up with greater purpose, greater focus, greater discipline, greater awareness. You begin seeing yourself differently. And when your identity changes, your actions change permanently. This is the true goal of the challenge. Not simply better mornings, a better version of you. Now let's talk about tracking your progress. Every day, write down 4 simple things. Your wake-up time, your energy level, your mood, your biggest win of the day. This takes less than 2 minutes, but over time, it creates powerful awareness. You'll begin seeing patterns. You'll notice what works. You'll identify areas for improvement. Most importantly, you'll see evidence of your growth. And evidence creates belief. Another powerful strategy is accountability. Share your commitment with someone, a friend, a family member, a mentor, a coworker. Tell someone about your challenge. When other people know your commitment, you're more likely to follow through. And remember, this challenge is not about being perfect. There will be difficult mornings. There may be setbacks. You may oversleep. You may miss part of your routine. That's okay. Don't quit. Don't start over. Just continue. One imperfect day does not erase your progress. Success belongs to those who keep going, not those who never struggle. Now I want you to imagine yourself 30 days from today. Picture yourself completing this challenge. Picture yourself waking up with confidence. Picture yourself feeling healthier, stronger, more focused, more disciplined. Imagine looking back and realizing that a simple decision changed everything. Because that's often how transformation happens. Not through one dramatic moment, but through small daily actions repeated consistently. One morning at a time, one choice at a time, one habit at a time. The future you desire is not created in a single day. It is created daily, and every morning gives you another opportunity to build it. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, protect your mornings. Honor your commitments. Trust the process. Keep showing up, even when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. Because the person you want to become is waiting on the other side of consistency. 30 days from now, you'll either have 30 excuses or 30 victories. The choice belongs to you. Choose growth. Choose discipline. Choose action. Choose the future you deserve. Your transformation begins tomorrow morning, and tomorrow morning begins now. Congratulations. You have just completed this journey through one of the most powerful principles of personal growth. Win the morning, and you can win your life. Today, you've learned something that many people spend years discovering. Success is not built through occasional bursts of effort. Success is built through consistent daily actions. Small habits, small decisions, small victories, repeated day after day. The truth is that your future is being created every morning. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you choose growth over excuses, every time you choose purpose over distraction, you are shaping the person you become. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You simply need to take the next step, then the next, then the next. And before long, those small steps become extraordinary results. As you wake up tomorrow morning, remember this moment. Remember this commitment. Remember the vision you've created for your future. The alarm clock is not your enemy. It is an opportunity, an invitation, a chance to become stronger, wiser, healthier, and more intentional. The morning belongs to those who are willing to claim it. And now, that includes you. If this audiobook inspired you, encouraged you, or helped you in any way, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to Mighty Library Audio, and sharing it with someone who is ready to transform their life. Your support helps us continue creating powerful content that inspires growth, discipline, wisdom, and success. Thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for investing in yourself. And most importantly, thank you for choosing growth. This is Mighty Library Audio signing off. Until next time, rise early, stay disciplined, keep learning, keep growing, and never forget, when you win the morning, you truly win your life.